did you fly? Left me.
I remember having the time of my life with Michael. I was about 15 years old, and I remember him just sitting down with me, being like, this is kind of like what you got to do, Aaron, in your future, and just stay focused and stay driven, always be a perfectionist. I also went to the same vocal coach as Michael, Seth Briggs, for many years. So I really idolized Michael. The way is like, okay, you're a grown man, and when Michael Jackson was alive, you are backing him, you are up his ass, you are kissing his ass, you are there to testify for him under oath, and then when he dies, you decide that that's a good time to come out. No, what you're doing is you're actually stomping on an icon and a legend's grave. You're stomping on his grave. I just feel like, why not do it when he was alive, man? Why not do it when he was being me staying with Michael Jackson? I hung out with Michael Jackson. I stayed at his house. I stayed in his bedroom.
How old were you?
I was 15.
Oh, the filmmaker says that they were not paid for Leaving Neverland. They had filed lawsuits.
You don't think for the interviews
Wade had filed a lawsuit.
You don't think that for the interviews that they're doing, they're not getting paid? Because I've been offered 6 figures already for an interview, and I turned them all down. I told them to go fuck themselves. Like, Wade, I'm very disappointed in, because I don't understand. You're stomping on someone's grave who's there for you, taught you things, did all these kind of things, and then you guys are sitting there talking about how you were molested and all this stuff. It's hard for me to understand. How am I supposed to understand that when my own personal experience with him was gentle and beautiful and loving and embracing, and that was it?
Asked Mr. Robson, did Michael Jackson ever molest you at any time? And you said absolutely not, correct?
Correct.
And that was a lie, right?
That was a lie, yeah.
Okay. On line 21, you're asked, Mr. Robson, did Michael Jackson ever touch you in a sexual way? And you responded, never, no, correct?
Correct.
And that was a lie. And you now claim that that was a lie, correct?
That was not the truth, yeah.
On line 24, you're asked, Mr. Robson, has Mr. Jackson ever inappropriately touched any part of your body at any time, correct?
Correct.
And your answer was no, correct?
Correct.
And you now claim that that was a lie, correct?
That was not the truth.
On line 14, you were asked, and at no time has any sexual contact ever occurred between you and Mr. Jackson, right? Do you see that?
Yes.
And your answer was never, correct?
Yes.
And you now claim that that was a lie, correct?
That was not the truth.
You wrote to Jeff Thacker on June 26, 2009, correct?
Yeah.
Outside, that's where I play all my games. And he's gonna jerk. One little jerk. Okay. Okay, now you can go. But I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna build a water park on it.
Connect so well with children. What is it?
Because he's really a child at heart. He acts just like a child. And he knows how a child is. He knows how what a child thinks. Because I think that you don't necessarily have to be a child because society says 18 and up, you're adult. That doesn't really matter. You're an adult when you want to be one.
Isn't that great? Not sick at all. No more cancer. All gone. All gone.
He's taller than me now.
When they told him he was gonna die. Isn't that great?
They told my parents to plan for his funeral because there was no chance.
They told your parents to plan for his funeral.
They told he wasn't gonna grow. He wasn't gonna be able to have kids.
I got a growth spurt.
He had growth spurts during chemotherapy.
I went from 4'10" to 5'4".
See, medicine don't know it all, do they?
According to...
If I could stay in the bedroom, hey, let me stay in the bedroom. And I was like, Michael, you can stay there. But it was fun that night.
I slept on the floor. I wasn't sleeping bag.
No, he packed the whole vest of blankets up the floor.
What? But Michael, you're a 44-year-old man now. What do you get out of this? What do you get out of this?
He's 4. Yeah, I'm 4. I love. I feel. See, I think what they get from me, I get from them. I've said it many times. My greatest inspiration comes from kids. Every song I write, every dance I do, all the poetry I write, is all inspired from that level of innocence, that consciousness of purity. And children have that. I see God in the face of children. And I just love being around that all the time. Are you guys still really help people? Why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone. You know?
You really think that?
Yeah, of course.
You're taking the position that you use every single night that you go into. You sleep, and you're sharing it with another.
You said you can have my bed if you want. Sleep in it. I'll sleep on the floor. It's yours. Always give the best to the company, Like to him, I said, because he was going to sleep on the floor. I said, no, you sleep in the bed, I'll sleep on the floor.
But haven't you got a spare room or a spare house here where he could have stayed?
Yeah, but no, yes, we have guest units, but whenever kids come here, they always want to stay with me. They never want to stay in the guest. And I have never invited them in my room. They always just want to stay. They say, can I stay with you tonight? I go, if it's okay with your parents, yes, you can.
Were your parents happy that you were here with Michael?
Yeah, my mom was all very, very, very happy. And I know they're happy because I was happy.
Did they come with you?
Yeah, most of the time, but I wasn't really with my parents. I was mainly with Michael.
But they were happy that you were here?
Yeah.
Before I was doing Nutcracker at Lincoln Center, I was playing Fritz, and he came back. People did. Most people like Michael Jackson, and he was a god to people. And to me, he was, I knew he was a pop singer, but beyond that, I wasn't one of the fans. I think that's one of the reasons why we connected, was the fact that, believe me, I call him he was, a family friend. Basically.
What happened at the house? That's what all these things that people are concerned
that's what's so weird,
What did happen?
Nothing happened, nothing really. We played video games, we played it at an amusement park. Well, the thing is with that whole thing is that, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that. So when I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been, because he's not a very social person. You're talking about someone who's been sheltered and sheltering himself also for the last 30 years, or and so he's not very good at communicating to people and not very good at conveying what he's actually trying to say to you. And so when he says something like that, people, he doesn't quite understand why people react the way that they do.
Why do you think he likes young people?
Who he was. That was the thing. I talked to him like he was a normal human being, and out with him, and they were fine with it.
So what do you make of what he's going through now?
Like I said, it's unfortunate, and it's a circus right now.
You think it's a bad rap?
I think so, yeah. Listen, look what happened the first time this happened to him. If someone had done something like that to my kid, I wouldn't just settle for some money. I'd make sure the guy was in jail, and it just really goes to show, as soon as, they got the money and they ran, that's really what happened the first time. And so, I don't know, it's a little crazy, and I kind of have taken a step back from the whole thing, because it is a bit of a circus, and, if the same thing was happening to me, I wouldn't want to...
Here's the thing, at the end of the day, we were friends. In the most simple... It's like one of my friendships that people question only because of the fact that he was the most famous person in the world. I'm friends, we're friendly, you know what I mean? And people wouldn't question that because we're friends.
Because we're in the same age.
You don't have to explain that also. You don't have to explain your friendships to people. Seriously, how many friendships have you had to really explain to people?
Not many.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like...
I think maybe do you think the age gap is probably why they question it?
Yeah,
why would an older man...
He was hilarious. He was sweet. And people didn't know how funny he fucking was.
See, I envy you that. I envy you.
He liked prank calling people. He actually was really good with his voice, obviously.
Michael Jackson would prank call, and with you, you'd call...
Charming, fucking funny, silly. And here's the thing is that, again, it goes back to something else I was saying, was that I really didn't actually give a shit about famous people, because I was thoroughly unimpressed by them. So when I first met him, I'm like, okay, cool, you're just that guy. You're like, oh, that guy who sang songs. Like, cool.
Looks like like the most generous person.
Yeah,
too.
he was generous. He was gentle.
Do you still have any?
You know, he was very upset. You know what I mean? Not even going to make it another week and stuff like that. I've had that situation too, but he's had it like quadruple times over. Okay, because he's the king. So to see something that he loves so dearly, and you try and turn that against you. It's kind of like you having kids.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now they're turned against you. And you're being accused of something that you have no there's nothing in your being that will allow you to even think the way that they're even talking. You know what I mean? So to have something come against you that you love kids because he didn't have a childhood. My childhood was a little bit different too. That's why we had so much stuff alike. Because I started off early and he started off, even more earlier. You know what I mean? And so it was just kind of weird. And I'm like, dude, anything I can help, just let me know when you can come to court. And it's like, I'll ask. And then it was like they wouldn't let any more people come to court on his behalf.
Yeah.
They didn't allow that to happen. But I'm like, yo, I'm here, bro. Whatever we can do, and it's just sad because most people wasn't unsure. They were kind of leaning in one way. Now all the news came out.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? Like the time has gone by that all the information has come out, all the lies that was told, all the money bag grabs is out there now. All of that is out there now. And there's still people still believing nonsense, and the truth is finally out. So imagine being accused of something. This is something, our generation and our people understand. Being accused of something. And how do you even prove you're innocent? Of something you're completely not guilty of.
Yeah.
Wow.
How do you do that? So it's pretty wild. It's pretty crazy. I mean, somebody could label me something, and then I'm gonna well, no.
At this AMA party in 1984, also there, a young Emmanuel Lewis.
We always had a great time, laugh, tell jokes. No one really seen that side of him.
They have stayed close for years, and Lewis was quick to defend his friend last year after the airing of Martin Bashir's searing documentary.
None of that, any of that, makes any of it the truth. I don't get it, and I don't think I ever will. He's always been a friend, not just of me, but my whole entire family.
There's 4 FBI agents waiting for me in the hotel room. And my mom's there, and she's like, tell them what happened. And I'm like, what do you mean, tell them what happened? And I sit down with them, and they all ask these super sexually exploiting, questions, backsided questions. And I knew that at my age already. And I looked at all 4 of them, and I said, are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm going to do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom, and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened. I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind. Are y'all crazy? I said, what you think I'm going to do? Tell you that Michael did something bad so that we can sue him for money? That's what I told him. I was like, you're crazy. And I looked over at my mom, and I was like, are you serious, Mom? I was like, what is going on here? Why are you letting this happen? And she goes, well, I think something happened. I think something. I'm like, really? That man did nothing but be hospitable, kind, loving, giving.
Michael Jackson told me in no uncertain terms that settling that case in 1994 was the biggest mistake he'd ever made. He should never have settled it. He should have fought it through a trial. He would have won. It was an absurd case. But he was advised, he told me, by lawyers, by business advisors, to settle it and get rid of it.
For me, is when you do a concert and you see a sea of people singing the lyrics all in unison and holding up candles and you go, wow, you know, it just really makes your heart happy, and that's what really makes you feel like everything's okay.
Your heart's so pure, but now I'm aching, unsure. Your voice was a song, my saving grace. Now silence fills your empty space. I keep your smile